to, like I said, it's going to use all the values from the unit circle. Okay? You just have to remember a few things about the three trig ratios and how they relate to the unit circle. So remember, when we put a triangle in the unit circle, the hypotenuse was always 1. And then we would get a point on the unit circle, x comma y, whatever those values are. X would always represent the horizontal distance along the x-axis, and y would always represent the vertical distance up to the point on the unit circle. Okay? And we talked about, like, when this is 45 degrees, these values are root 2 over 2, comma root 2 over 2. When this angle is 30 degrees, this is root 3 over 2, comma 1/2. When this is 60 degrees, this is 1/2, comma root 3 over 2. Okay, that's the unit, and then we did the remaining 3 quadrants as well. But to put the trig in here, okay, think SOHCAHTOA. How do you find the cosine of any angle? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So yes, on the unit circle, if we want to find the cosine of whatever this angle is, it's going to be the adjacent x over 1, which is just x. So for sine, it would be opposite over hypotenuse, which is y over 1, which is just the y value. Hang on. The tan, we have to do a little bit of work because it's opposite over adjacent. It will be whatever the y value is, divide the x value. So we're going to have to divide those two to get our answer. Okay? So if you think about it, let's say I said this was 45 degrees. Okay? You can now tell me what these values are. What are they? Root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. What would be the cosine of 45 degrees? It's whatever the x is. What's the cosine of 45 degrees? Root 2 over 2. Done. What's the sine of 45 degrees? Right. What's the tan of 45 degrees? And what's anything divide itself? 1. So you've just done 3 trig ratios without using a calculator. And you told me the exact answers. Okay? So the coordinates of any point on the unit circle, x, y, x will always be the cosine of the angle that's coming out from the origin and the x-axis. The y value will always be the sine. And the tan, like I said, we have to do a little bit of work. We have to divide the y value by the x value. Oh no, really? I haven't fixed this. Take that out, because I don't use that anymore. Okay. Here's how we would tackle it. So let's say I want you to find the sine of 150 degrees. First of all, the sine tells me the y value. So I need to find the point on the unit circle at 150 degrees, and its y value will be sine. So what's 150 degrees again? Well, 150 degrees is in the 30-degree family, so it's here. What's the point? Negative root 3 over 2, comma 1/2. So therefore, the sine of 150 is going to be the what? So the sine of 150 equals 1/2. And if you do that on your calculator, you'll see sine 150, you'll get 0.5 exactly. Okay? That's all we do for these things. That's the next step. Taking the unit circle and reading the values of the point on the unit circle. Sine 45 we already did. So sine tells me read the y value. "45 degrees," well, that's unit 1, or sorry, quadrant 1. That comes out into the middle. That's root 2 over 2, comma root 2 over 2. The sine of 45 degrees will be the y value of that point. Root 2 over 2. That's your answer. You don't have to do this. Okay, you don't have to draw the diagram. You don't have to say y value or x value. Okay, but I do it just to start. You guys will reach the point where you'll be familiar with all the points on the unit circle. You'll be able to sort of visualize it in your head. If you can't, do it this way. There's nothing wrong with that. Cos 150, well, cos tells me x value. 150 we just did above. 150 has the point negative root 3 over 2, comma 1/2 on the unit circle. So the cos of 150, sorry, I should have put 45 degrees here, and I should have put 150 degrees here. It's negative root 3 over 2. The tan of 240, we got to do a little bit of work. We got to use both values of the point on the unit circle. So tan tells me, well, whenever you find the point, take the y value, divide the x. 240 degrees, that's in the 60-degree family. So this is 60, this is 120, this is 240. What's this point here? Right. So that means to find tan, I have to take the y value, negative root 3 over 2, and divide it by the x value of negative 1/2. Well, remember when we divide fractions, we change it to a multiplication of the reciprocal of the second one. So this will be negative root 3 over 2 times 2 over 1, negative 2 over 1. The 2 up top and the 2 on the bottom, they reduce down to 1. So I've got negative root 3 up top, negative 1 on the bottom. Well, 2 negatives make a positive, and it'd be root 3 over 1, which is just root 3. No. You're confusing that with something else. Never changes the sign. Not when you divide fractions. Okay? Okay. Let's keep going. Yeah, there's some more tan examples. Okay, like I said, tan is the one you got to do a little bit of work. Y value or X value or Y divide X? For sine of 330. Y value. .330 is in the 30-degree family. It's in quadrant 4. What's that point on the unit circle? Sorry, root 3 over 2. Negative 1/2. I want the Y value because it's sine. So it's negative 1/2. So do you see, in order to do these, you've got to know your unit circle. Cosine is X value. .225 is in the 45-degree family, and it's in negative root 2 over 2, negative root 2 over 2. So the cosine will be whatever the X value is. Well, they both are the same. So it's negative root 2 over 2. Yeah. Do you not remember me saying something about that? No? I see. Well, you'll have to go back to the video then and figure it out. Or I'll tell you later. Yeah, that's it. Look out the window. Sound a little sassy. Now you sound like a cat. 10, Y divide X, 90 degrees. Where is 90 degrees? It's right up here. 0, 1. Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's what you said.
So, how do I find the tan? 1 divided by 0, which is, do it on your calculator. Do it on your calculator. Oh, you got an error. Look between Leah and Katana. Look between Leah and Katana. Why? Because it's undefined. McKenna. No, it wasn't. You'll get it at 90. You'll get it somewhere else. You'll get it here because it'll be negative 1 divides 0. So the tan of 90 and the tan of 270 will always be undefined. Thank you. Cosine of 60 degrees. That's X value. 60 is in quadrant 1. Here's 60. What's the point? So therefore, what's my answer? 1/2. I guess you'll have to go back in the video and watch what and go to the spot where I mentioned that. Who remembers me talking about that? Linnea, what did I say?
You don't have to draw 4 to
Thank you. 10 is what? Y divided by X. 135 is where? Second quadrant coming out to the middle. So the point is, so we got to do some work here. We've got to do the Y value, root 2 over 2, divided by negative root 2 over 2. Yeah, we don't have to change this one to multiplication because anything divided self is 1. Anything divided negative self is -1. Finally, the sine of 180. Sine means y value. $180. How? Where? How do I draw this? You said straight across. I don't know what that means. Which way? To the right, left? To the left. The point?
-1 and 0.
So therefore, my answer is 0 because it's the y value. Okay. Some of you may be wondering if you have to show all this work. You're so literal.